time for laggy stream. Laggy WoW stream. Yes, I know the stream is laggy. Pin message. Okay. Hopefully it's not... It's gonna be laggy. It's gonna be very laggy. I'm just gonna level my fishing. 14 concurrent viewers? That doesn't sound right. Greetings, plebeian. Happy belated birthday. Hello there, Celty. Hopefully you almost have that backgrounds video done. How do I even get back over here? Because I don't want to Hearthstone to Undercity. I just want to get to waters in which I can fish, because apparently this zone is too high level for me to fish in. Put my sword on. Hello there, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Why is this not lagging? I had nothing but lag in my Yu-Gi-Oh streams. And now this one's perfect? What? This can't be right. Okay, there we go. Tried streaming on Twitch? Yeah, I know, because like the stream quality was so bad on YouTube that I tried Twitch just to see if maybe it was a YouTube problem, and it wasn't. Because it was also laggy on Twitch. Didn't you hear that it wasn't till Wrath? It's been a slow leak, but let's just pretend I do. A slow week will just be faster. Easy peasy. But dude, Celty, I did a couple of the history videos in the same way that I have you guys do the videos. And it was so tedious. I was like, oh man, I kind of feel sorry for the Yu-Gi-Oh and D&D editors. I can't believe they have to do this for every video. It's so tedious. Adding text is so tedious. It's like the only word for it. Tedium. Here, where are you from? The US? Fishing stream? Yeah, I'm gonna be fishing. I need to get to a lower level zone because it won't let me fish in this water because it's too high level for me. So I'm gonna try going to Booty Bay. I know I can fish in Booty Bay. I did that for footage. Hello, hero. Hello, Mr. Rafting. Alt-tiered, try streaming on Twitch. Oh yeah. Wait, were you there on Twitch, alt-tiered? With my super laggy stream on Twitch? I have an announcement to make, everyone. I'm going to be a Twitch streamer from now on. No more YouTube videos. All of the videos I made this month, every day, was just a last hurrah before I start my new career as an internet Twitch personality with my VTubing avatar. Do you guys want to see my VTubing avatar? I'll show you my VTubing avatar once I get to Booty Bay. YouTube streaming all the way. I'm really surprised this stream is not lagging. I basically just... I was going to do the stream for like 20 minutes, give or take, so that I could just, you know, say that I did it. And it'd be a good way to tell everyone why I'm not streaming. Because it's too laggy, but it's not laggy. What the fuck? Why was it unstreamable earlier and now it's working perfectly fine? This is pissing me off. How old are you? I turned 29 yesterday. How many channels you got? This is the third one I found. I have like 11, but I only upload regularly on 4 of them. And I only take 3 of those 4 seriously. So all of my channels, there's the hirumaredx, which is World of Warcraft. There's the Duologs, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duologs channel is actually my most popular channel, which is ironic considering the WoW channel has 50k more subs. And then there's the D&D logs, which is doing very well. It's already self-sufficient after... it's been almost a year. That's about right. So that one is already a success, which is nice. It would be even more of a success if I could upload more regularly on it, which I'll do next month. Let's go to Ratchet. And then there's the Azeroth Weather channel, which I haven't uploaded on in a couple weeks because I've been busy. And then there's the Pet Battle channel, which I don't do anymore. And then there's the Unfunny Jokes channel, which I don't do anymore, which was an animation channel. And then there's the Ask Reddit channel, which I don't do anymore. And then there's the Heroes Metroidvania channel, which I don't do anymore. And then there's the Heroes of the Storm channel, which I don't do anymore. And there was the General Top 10 channel, which I don't do anymore. There was the Joke Top 10 channel, which I don't do anymore. There was the Anime channel called I Only Play Tinker, which I don't do anymore. And I think... No, there's also DevBot. DevBot has his own channel, which I don't do anymore. And I think that's all of them. More work? Shoot, guess I'll have to wake up then. Rowdy number? What? There goes Hiru's master plan. Oh yeah, I have to debut. Here, I'll show you. I am quitting being a YouTuber. I'm going to be a VTuber from now on. Let me show you my VTubing avatar. It's still in the early stages, but here it is.
Hello there. I am a 300-pound spider virtual YouTuber. I will be known as, I don't have a good name yet. I'm still workshopping that. But for now, just call me Mommy Spider. Okay, I'm gonna put away my VTuber rig equipment now. Goodbye, everyone. We're gonna go back to normal streams.
Okay, hopefully you enjoyed my totally real and legit VTuber avatar. Yes, Mommy Spider. I need a better name for that. That's just the name of the Yu-Gi-Oh card that's based on. Very pretty avatar. Why, thank you. I totally didn't just steal it from a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Why do you love WoW? And if WoW did not exist like tomorrow, what game would you play? I already like play a bunch of different games. Like if WoW stopped existing, then that would just free up time for my other hobbies. Like, I already do other things, and WoW isn't even the most popular thing I make videos about. I never understood the whole VTuber thing. It is pretty weird if you don't find one that you don't like. If you don't find one you like. It's more like, the VTuber itself is just like a medium. You know, it's like playing a character. Like, think of Asmongold. And you know how Asmongold has two streams? He has his Asmongold stream, and then he has his Zach Rar stream. I'm using this as an example because he's actually a pretty good example. It doesn't make sense for him to have two streams, you know, at first glance. But actually, it's because he puts a lot of effort into his main streams. It doesn't seem like he does. He's just playing WoW, but, you know, he's really playing up the character. He's, you know, putting effort into being entertaining and watching videos and, like, putting on events. And he's, like, you know, playing a exaggerated version of himself. And then when he's on his other stream, he's just kind of chillaxing and just doing what he feels like. Most streams I've seen, like of new people, or just a lot of them are just chillaxing streams. They're just chilling. They're not really trying to put on a show. The VTuber things, they're basically putting on a show while streaming. It's you know, they're basically like putting on the Asmongold persona. And a lot of the VTubers that I watch are just really talented. And it's fun to see talented people do things that they're talented in. That's basically the whole thing of it. You know, they just put it on a show. And it's entertaining because it's like, oh, I guess streams can be entertaining if the streamer puts a lot of effort into it. The spider logs. Ooh, the spider logs. That's a good name for it. I am now known as the spider logs. He will be called the spider logs. Let me put on my fishing pole. Let me equip my bait. Does Code Miko count as a VTuber? So I guess you'd be number one? Yeah, he's a VTuber. It's just like a, you know, it's a way to put on a show, and the show they're putting on is they're pretending to be an anime girl, essentially. Or an anime boy. Or a 300-pound spider. But, like, you know, that's the persona they're putting on, but what they're actually doing is, like, normal stream stuff. Hey, Hero. Hello, Arrow. Does Code Miko count as a VTuber? Oh, you already read that. He was only 58. Remember when you were 54, like, a year ago? It takes so long to hit 60. You guys don't understand. Okay. I need to be able to hear the bobber. Is it ambient sound? Is this what the bobber is? Is it ambient sound? I don't know. 300-pound spider pog? Yeah, I'm you know, like the 300-pound spider. Will you consider doing a face reveal? Didn't you just see my face reveal? My VTuber face reveal? Good comparison with Asmont. Yeah, that's like the best way I can compare it. Thankfully, we have someone readily available in the WoW community. If I were to explain it in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, I don't know if I'd be able to. No bobber's normal sound. Is it normal sound? Let me see. Music, ambient, dialogue, sounds only, return to game. Let me see. Will you use a toy bobber? Those doesn't exist in Classic. How exactly people put on personas? Serious question. Like, is it just pretending or is anything else to it? Acting in general is really weird to me. Like, whenever I stream or record videos, I put on a persona too. It's like flipping a switch once you get used to it. You just immediately start acting like that person. Everybody does it to an extent. It's just, you know, when you're an entertainer, you can kind of turn it on actively based on the situation you're in. Like, for example, think of the person you are when you're in front of your friends hanging out, and the person you are when you're, you know, with your very strict grandparents or parents, or, you know, in front of an authority figure. Like, how would you act in front of a cop? Or, you know, a famous person. You know, you probably act differently than you do in front of your friends or your parents. You know, those are your various personas that normal people put on. It's just like that, except they have an entertainer persona. So it is sound. Did you make videos about Taurens and their abilities? Not yet. I will eventually. Lizard Hero confirmed. Bork bork. Oh yeah, did you guys hear my dogs? They're very quiet. You can barely hear them, but occasionally they'll make a peep. Here, do you like anime? Yeah, a little bit too much. Okay, I get it. Will not lines get blurry sometimes? Yeah. Like, lines can get blurred sometimes. Like, a lot of teenagers have identity issues because, you know, they're so used to putting on a fake persona that they don't like. That they're like, I don't know who the real me is because I'm constantly trying to pretend to be, you know, perfect for everyone. Because they're insecure about who they think their real selves is or whatever. Like, if you constantly put on a persona that you don't like, it can get annoying. It can, like, really damage your ego. And not even just, like, you know, ego, but, like, ego, the technical definition of it. You know, if you're put on a persona that you like, it's really not that big a deal. If it's one that you absolutely hate doing, though, then that's where you get problems. What's your slash play on this character? I don't know. Oh, it's 8 days now. So you like anime? So what? Heck yeah. So I'm a spider. So what? Here, I love all your videos. Keep going. Why, thank you, AXLESL. Dumb question, but when TBC releases, will all the people that are playing beta now be already level 70? No. No, they don't carry over, ever. They never have. It was so much easier to write than Bladestorm. How is Bladestorm hard to write? I had to add a whole bunch to that. Because I went back and checked my old Bladestorm video, and I was like, ooh, this is full of really good info. Psychology is nuts. Thanks for the explanation. You're welcome. I didn't go to college for psychology for nothing, you know? Wow, is it the hirumaredx? Is it the Hurty Dwarf? Why do you roll an Orc Hunter? Every time I see Orc Hunter shoulder pads, I think they're heavyweights. I just went to Orc Hunter because I didn't want to be a Troll Hunter. And I had lofty goals of maybe playing it at endgame, which never happened because I never hit endgame. How many mounts do you own on retail? I don't know. 300? If you want to see which animes I watch, just look at my anime list in the stream description. What's wrong with trolls? Nothing really. I used to not like trolls very much, but like my main is a troll in retail. I just didn't want to have another main troll. Plus, I don't really like Zandalari trolls. I'm more of a... I mean, I don't like dark spear trolls. I'm more partial towards the Zandalari trolls. Why did you not level as Alliance instead? I planned on leveling Alliance too. Just... I didn't think it would take me so long to hit max level. I planned on leveling every character to max. I didn't think I would take over a year to hit max level, and I'm still not max level yet. When did TBC originally come out? I think 2005 or 6? 2007? What is your favorite allied race? Ooh, it's either Volpera or the Zandalari trolls. The only reason I play troll is because of their voices? Really now? (2007) January? Was it 2007? Really? I know it was around in 2007. I didn't think it was 2007. I remember back in the day, I used to play this online game called Fallen Sword. And in this MMO called Fallen Sword, we had a lot of WoW refugees. People who used to play World of Warcraft but quit because they enjoyed Fallen Sword more. And they would constantly talk shit about WoW. And I remember the only thing I'd ever heard about WoW from people online was how bad it was. And how much Blizzard was ruining their game. And how the Burning Crusade was so much better than the new Wrath of the Lich King expansion. I was like, well, if you say so, whatever. And then one day, I got like a demo disc in the mail. Because they used to mail those out. I don't know how the hell they got it to me. Actually, I do know. I used to do a lot of those websites where you'd fill out questionnaires and you'd earn points in order to get like video games. That's how I used to get video games back in the day. So I was probably sent one of those through one of those sites before I started using a fake address. And they sent me a demo disc. And then I was like, I'm never going to install this. My little brother was like, hey, I want to try this. Can you install it? And I was like, sure. So I installed it and I got the game working and I just started it up. And then I fell in love with it instantly because it was so much more fun than that crappy browser game I played. I was like, what the fuck were these guys complaining about? This game is 10 times more fun than that stupid browser game. And then that's when I learned sometimes people are just really stupid and complain about the dumbest things. And to only take other people's very negative opinions online with a grain of salt. Wrath is greater than all other expansions. Void Elf Simp. Hey, if I was Alliance, I'd be a Void Elf connoisseur. Volpera. Heck yeah, I love Volpera because everyone hates them. There's something about, like, things that people don't like, which I'm not very partial to, that just makes me like them even more. Maybe I'm a contrarian. Oh no, my fishing lure fell off. People always complain about change. Yeah, turns out people have been vehemently complaining about the game since the dawn of time. People have probably been complaining about WoW since before it launched. WoW players hate WoW the most, to be honest. Yep. But yeah, they would always talk about WoW because that was the big MMO at the time. And I just, you know, had no reason to disbelieve them. I was like, wow, WoW must really suck if these people are constantly talking shit about it. And then I played it and I was like, what? You can level as much as you want? How are they going to stop you from leveling all day? Because in the game I used to play, there was like an energy system. You could only level, like, they had quests in the game, but you would maybe encounter one quest every 5 levels or so, which meant questing wasn't really a way you leveled up. The way you leveled up was by grinding monsters. And you could only grind so many monsters per day. Like, you probably run out of energy after half an hour of grinding monsters. And then you'd have to wait for it to refresh. You could, like, wait every hour to get a little bit back and go to grinding, or you could just, you know, play once a day. That's what most people did. They would just play once a day and do out all their grinding. And then they would just do other stuff in the game for the rest of the day. Because they were no longer able to grind out experience. And there was no level cap in Fallen Sword. And, you know, it just made sense. And then when I played WoW and, like, there was no cap. I mean, there was a cap, but there was nothing stopping me from just hitting the cap by playing nonstop. And I was like, what's to stop you from just playing WoW all day? This is crazy. It just kind of blew my mind that you could level as much as you wanted. And I didn't really do quests at first either. I just went out and grinded mobs until I was like level 10. And I was like, oh, there's quests? There's a lot of them too. What? You can level up through doing quests too? That's crazy. That also blew my mind too, that there was like a whole bunch of quests instead of just one every 5 levels. WoW is it's insane. It's so good. You guys have no idea how good you got it. If you hate WoW, I would highly suggest, you know, and if you really like MMOs and you hate WoW and it's the only game you play, I would suggest trying other MMOs. It'll give you a greater appreciation, or you'd find one that's better. You don't need to stick to WoW. But man, did WoW make me just realize how crappy the other game I was playing was. Wrath was peak, but also a lot of systems that slowly corrupted the game were introduced in WoW. If you go based on the assumption that the game has been corrupted, sure. Hi, Hero. Have you read/played visual novels? Not really. I've seen a lot of animes based on visual novels, but I never read one. We need more spiteful Volpera love? Heck yeah. Dude, you know how many Volperas I have? Like, at least 2 of them. People were complaining about WoW during World War II. I know, right? I started playing WoW during 8.3, and to be honest, it was fun. Raiding was fun. Yeah, the game's great. Like, the people who complain the loudest about the game are the people who are basically raid loggers. Like, they don't do anything else in the game. They do whatever the current raid tier is, they complain about it the whole time, and then they complain once they're done. But there's so much to do in the game. Like, I remember I was watching Max Limit. He's the dude who runs Limit. He was watching one of my top 10s on stream. And he was giving his insight on a lot of the stuff. Like, because he was watching a video on the top 10, like, best systems in the game. And the way he, like, evaluated systems was just so different to, like, how I think about the game. Because he is a super competitive player and plays at the highest level. And so everything he does in WoW is, like, through the lens of a top competitive player. And, like, a lot of his hot takes too. And, like, you know, some of the stuff I put in there, my reasoning, he's like, yeah, I guess that's fine for a casual player. I was like, I didn't know that was casual. Wow. These people really just play the game differently. Like, we're both playing the same game, but they just play it in a completely different way. And then the people who complain the loudest are the people who think they're playing it in that way too. I think that's probably what it is. Most of the people who complain are mid-tier level players, but they like to pretend they're high-level players. You know, like Limit Max. They come from the perspective of Max without actually playing the game at that level. I love Max, but the literally only cares about raids. Yeah, like, his perspective on the game is 100% tied to just competitive. Like, he's super understanding that there's a casual side to the game. You know, I'm sure he'd have to be, because he seems like a smart dude, and I think he would know that, you know, casuals carry the game. You can't have a successful game based on only hardcore players, because there's not enough of them. But, like, the hardcore scene is very important, because that's what inspires the casual players to want to play the game in the first place. Like, there's a psychological thing to it, where because the high end exists, it gives you more meaning to play the game at a lower level. Because you always know at the back of your mind that you could do something to play at the highest level, but you don't have to. It's the fact that it exists is, like, really makes the game more fun. I wonder if there's, like, a psychological term for it, because, like, I remember there was an interview with the people who make Path of Exile, and they basically designed their game around this principle. Like, they put in materials that only, like, the top 5% of people will ever do. But because people, you know, have the inkling that they might do that one day, it just gets more people to play the game. I think it's maybe like the whole reason people play the lottery. Like, you know, most people know they're not going to win the lottery, but they still do it anyway because, you know, they might win. Carrot on his stick? Yeah. It's kind of like, you know, the game has lots of cosmetics you can farm, but why would you farm cosmetics in a game that you're not gonna, like, play? You know, there's other games. There's so many other games that have way more cosmetics than WoW. Like, you could just play The Sims 4 if all you cared about was cosmetics. But why do people farm out cosmetics so much in World of Warcraft? It's because it has, like, an end game. It's fun to farm those things in a game in which it has, you know, a competitive scene. You know, there are people who only care about cosmetics and nothing else, and they're happy just playing The Sims or, like, not Half-Life. There's other games with way more customization. WoW is, like, ridiculously underutilized when it comes to cosmetics. But yet, farming cosmetics is a very popular thing, especially mounts. And the reason it's good is because there's other things in the game to do. Ooh, I can put on my new bow. I can put on my new one. I'm fishing level 100. Nice. Are you the great spider YouTuber? Oh, do you guys want to see my spider YouTuber thing again? Can you make a video about the best classes? Sure. WoW's a game you can never leave. You just quit, which is what I have. The game still finds a way back into my life. Heck yeah, I've never quit. I just play all the time. I play every day. I really enjoy doing mod dailies. You guys will hate me for saying it, but I really like the maw. It's like one of my favorite things in the game. I need to make a video. I don't understand why I like it so much. I know it's too much, but I wanted to thank you for the recent uploads. You've been doing great. Keep up the amazing work. Why, thank you, Alan Tommy. That reminds me, I was going to talk about that. And plus, scene is even more elitist. 1.8k players and beyond. More elitist? I mean, all of the top players are elitists. If anything, I'm surprised how chill Max is. I assumed he would be like, you know, most of the elite players. He's a super chill guy I've seen on stream for like how competitive he is. Mostly ahead of the curve, gearing up BM alt. Meanwhile, a friend who's new to WoW only wants to fish, and that's lovely. Yeah, like there's so much to do. Like, I had no idea how much time and effort Blizzard put into the fishing profession until I read like the script for the fishing video, and I was like, holy shit. There's like so much to do on the side that has nothing to do with competitive endgame rating. Max also said on stream that you're one of his favorite WoW content creators, though. Oh, well, that's nice to hear. Because I like Max. I will also say, an aside, there was also another content creator who was a fan of my work, who I was also a fan of, and then he's no longer a content creator. And I don't know why I brought that up. I guess it's because he was also a competitive raider, too. Barely do transmog. I don't do transmog. I remember when I was watching Max watch the video, he's like, oh yeah, he's definitely going to put transmog on here because it's the thing casual players like. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about transmog. Yeah, that should have been on the video. Because I don't give a shit about transmog. So it totally slipped my mind. Like, I had it on my short list of something to add in, but I just forgot. And I just don't care. But yeah, transmog is definitely in the top 10 of best systems they've added that players liked. I just forgot because I don't really care about transmog. No, not the spider. You guys want to see the spider? I don't like the maw. I love the maw. Maw's the best zone in the game. It is the best zone in the game. What's wrong with the maw? Everybody hates it except for me. Make a video about thrown weapons? Oh, that's a good idea. Dude, how do you keep playing WoW all the time without burning out at some point? It's because I played in moderation. That's why. Maw's alright. Just completely different system. Made me not enjoy the maw as much as I wanted to. I love it. You see, here's the thing. Like, if there's something in a game that I don't like, but you have to do it, I probably won't do it. Unless I literally have to. A lot of the things in WoW are kind of optional. Like, you have to grind out, you know, Soul Ash to upgrade your legendary, but you don't have to max it out. It's not necessary. You can be perfectly fine at the first rank of it. It's not optimal, but it's not necessary to go further than that. And so I did eventually max it out anyway because I had the Soul Ash, because I like Torghast. But like, if there's anything in the game that I don't have to do, absolutely have to do, then I won't do it. And I'm trying to think of an example. Like, I don't know. Grinding out the PvP essence. That's a good one. Ooh, message in a bottle. So, like, back in BFA, one of the best minor essences for Disc Priests was one in which you had to do PvP in order to unlock. And I didn't want to do that, so I just didn't. I went the entire expansion without my, literally, it's the best minor essence. It's not one you slot into the main essence slot. It's one of the minor ones. It just gives you a shit ton of versatility. It was super good in PvE, and I never obtained it because I didn't want to. I didn't want to do the PvP required. And so I just don't. And that's how I play the game. Like, if I don't want to do something, I don't do it. Like, you know, if there's dailies in the game that you have to do every day and I don't have to, then I won't. Like when Mista Pandaria, when they forced you to do dailies in order to unlock the vendors for Valor gear, I was like, nope, I'm not buying Valor gear. So I didn't do them, but I was the only enchanter in the guild, and you also had to unlock the rep to get the max level enchanting recipes. And so I was like, fine, I'll do the dailies. And I did the dailies just enough in order to get the rep for the enchanter stuff, and then I stopped doing them. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that I was the only enchanter in the guild and everyone relied on my enchanting because they didn't want to pay money for the auction house stuff because it's just expensive, I would have never have done the dailies in MOP in order to unlock the Valor vendors because I don't do systems if I don't like them. And that's just how I play video games. Like, it's not optimal, but I don't care about being optimal as long as I'm good enough. But if the thing that I can do to be optimal is something I like, then I'll do it. So the fact that I still play WoW and like perform and everything, it's because I like it. Like, I don't play games that I don't enjoy. And I don't do activities in games that I don't enjoy. I just don't do them. I'll give them a try and they'll be like, this sucks, and I'll stop. Here was a contrarian, transmogrification, find cool sets, wear it for a decade. Yeah. Always free to pick a profession. I love you, dude. You're the best. Why, thank you. I'm fanboying so hard right now. Wow, that's nice. Always good to hear. Hero is a pop star. I ain't no pop star. I got exalted with Minari just because I enjoyed killing people in the Maw. I got exalted with Minari just because I like doing Maw dailies. Like, I did the minimum amount of dailies required in Mista Pandaria to unlock the enchanting recipes. And that was it. And I still do Maw dailies every day, even though I don't need to. BFA or Shadowlands? I really enjoyed BFA. Shadowlands is fine. I just been like so busy for the past month, I haven't really played it very much. Blood of the stream, I got it level 3 by doing Arathi Basin PvE Brawl. Oh yeah. I was gonna do that and I forgot why I didn't, and I forgot and I didn't do it, and I was fine. Are you still playing Hearthstone / D3? Yeah, I really want to play the new season. I'll probably play it all day tomorrow. Because I already have my character at level 70, I just need to do the griffs, the G-riffs. I'm gonna be playing a wizard this season. I was like, man, the last time I played a wizard, you know, it was... That was pretty fun. I'll do that again. And I was looking through footage, because I needed footage of Diablo for the top 10 I made last week. And I found footage from when the last time I played a wizard in a season. And the footage was from 2016. And I was like, holy shit, it's been 5 years since I played a wizard? It feels like it was just yesterday. It was like, yeah, I remember playing a wizard. It was fun. You know, it wasn't that long ago. No, it was fucking 5 years ago. I can't believe how much time has passed. Why does time pass so fast? Everybody, tell time to slow down. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about the videos. So I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I made videos every day for a month. There's a reason for that. You guys will never guess what the reason is. There's like a 30-second stream delay, so you'll never know. I've awoken. Hello there, Blake. Let me get this straight. You upload near daily, 10 to 20 minutes, and you still have time to stream? Are you a wizard, dude? Here, let me talk about that. So, back in February... Shut up, Celtics. Don't ruin it. Back in February, I had this notion. I was like, okay, so... There's this content creator who I very much was inspired by, because this particular content creator uploaded videos every day for a month. And they were pretty hilarious. They were very not hard to make videos, but I watched through the entire backlog and I was like, this is great. I really want to do something like this. But I can't, you know, obviously copy exactly what they do. I want to do something like this, but in my own way. And I was like, you know what? History videos. What I really need to do is find a way to make videos in an easy to edit way so that I can train new editors, because I really need to hire a new editor. And the history videos are a good, you know, thing to experiment on, because history videos simultaneously don't perform very well, but they get lots of legacy views. So it's fine to like experiment with them because they require editing, but they're not as important to work on as a top 10. But they're not also throwaway videos either. They do require research. You know, it's like creating a real video, except I can experiment with the editing. And I was like, that's perfect. They're also sometimes really short, because a couple of the history videos I had made before then were like less than 5 minutes. I was like, this is perfect. There's gonna be a whole bunch of less than 5-minute videos. I'll just take a huge loss on money, because you make no money on videos that are less than 5 minutes. And I'll do that for a whole month. That'll be my way of doing this. And it'll also be a way for me to experiment with editing techniques. And then that was back in February. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to upload every day for a month, I need a month to prepare. So in March, I told one of my editors, who I'm converting into a script writer, I was like, hey, I need 30 scripts. And they're like, no, you're crazy. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's too much. How about instead, we'll do 20 scripts, a video every day for every weekday in April. And they're like, no, that's too much too. Let's plan for 3 a week instead of 5. And I was like, okay, we'll plan for 3 a week, but really we're going to plan for 20. And then that editor trained another editor of mine in order to learn how to script write. And he picked it up really quickly, and then we had 2 like full-time script writers just writing scripts. They would write it, they'd send it in, and I would confirm it and double-check the information and be like, okay, it's good to go. And then that was all done in March. And then the editing started about a week or 2 before April, because I also had my April Fool's videos to make, which were priority. And then once those came out, and then we started the editing of all this stuff, and I had one of my other editors actually edit, like, I think he edited 10 of the videos himself. Or maybe it was 5, I don't remember. But I did all the other ones, so I edited at least half of the videos myself. And starting a month in advance wasn't soon enough. It was not enough time. Making 20 videos in a month when I usually make 4, that was 5 times the amount of output. And I'm really tired, and I think my body is shutting down on me, so I'm going to take the next 3 days off. Research, Wowhead, Wowpedia. I have like a system for it. Like if all they did was just copy and paste from Wowhead and Wowpedia, I'd be like, no. Do this again. There's a little bit more that goes into it. I'm not going to give away my system though. But like there's a reason you can watch my videos and be entertained while learning. Rather than, I don't know if anyone else actually does a bad job at presenting information, but I present the information in an entertaining way, and that's how I've kind of separated myself from other people who basically do the same thing. It's edutainment. Education, which is entertaining. For me, depends on the role. And that was the month. I basically was inspired by a content creator who might be a YouTuber pretending to be a squirrel from Hololive ID. If anyone who can guess who it is based on that. Patrick Miru. Thanks for uploading every day this month. It gave me something to watch my work break on the craziness of the project I've been working on. Wow. Hopefully you had fun watching that, Patrick Miru. Also, thanks for the 5NZ. Edutainment. Does Hero play Skyrim? No. I bought a VR headset. I think I actually would not mind a first-person shooter perspective game if it was in VR. I might give it a try in VR. I don't like first-person shooters because I'm very particular about the first-person perspective and how much it pisses me off on like an instinctual level. But if it's in VR, that might be fine. I bought an Oculus too. I bought it like last week, or I guess this week. Yeah, I bought it earlier this week. I was just like, I want a VR, so I bought one. And then later on I realized it's my birthday this week. I was like, hey, this is kind of like an early birthday present, except I totally forgot it was my birthday. So I just bought it just because. Skyrim is not an FPS. Yeah, it is. It's a first-person perspective game. You can go third-person perspective, but it's pretty janky, and I don't really like third-person games either. It's basically a first-person shooter with magic. And if it's not technically a first-person shooter with magic, it's basically a first-person shooter with magic. I don't really care if it's a technical FPS or not. I don't like that style. You don't play Overwatch? I've actually played hundreds of hours of Overwatch. I don't particularly like Overwatch, but I like the friend I played it with. So, you know, it kind of superseded that. Like, I had fun playing Overwatch when I was playing with my friend. And then I tried playing Overwatch by myself, and I was like, yeah, I don't like first-person shooter games. So I just stopped. As soon as my friend was too busy to play with me anymore, I haven't touched Overwatch since. So I don't think I played Overwatch in like 3 years. There is a bow. It's a shooter. It's a third-person game, though. Like, I don't care about the technicalities. It's basically a first-person shooter. You can contextualize it all you want. I don't like that feeling of that kind of gameplay. Yeah, they were enjoyable because this project hasn't been going to plan and it's 10 years overdue. Holy shit. What the hell kind of project are you working on? WoW is kind of first a third-person shooter with magic, but also guns if you're a hunter. WoW is a tab targeting GCD, what is it? Tab targeting. There's a special kind of gameplay for this. It's a tab targeting hot button game. It's not the same as Skyrim at all. Like, there's no skill shots. You tab target and then you click an ability and it hits them. I like the combat in WoW. You can play in first person, but like no one does. That's kind of stupid. Waves at you? Hello there. I'm fishing right now. I forgot to put a bobber on. All my friends quit Retail Classic or Overwatch. You know, good thing about WoW is I don't play with friends ever. So, I don't really care what the hell my friends are playing. Actually, correction. This implies that I have friends who play video games together. I had the one friend, and that was it. The one friend decided to stop playing video games and instead take care of small children. So that's what they're doing, and I continue to do my own thing by myself, and I am perfectly fine. This is what I always do. I only realized after like 2 years that you and Matt Season Show are not the same person. We do make kind of similar videos. Mine are a lot more positive about the game, though. I don't really hate the game as much as Matt Season Show does. I still make negative videos about it, too. I have the top 10 worst Covenant abilities. The top 10 worst systems in the game. But other than that, everything's pretty neutral or positive. You know, I don't really play games that I don't like. And I don't really get upset over stupid shit. Tab target, 2D combat with 3D graphics. You said the S word? No, I didn't. I said the happy word. I played WoW first person most, and that's because as a tank you end up with your back against the wall. Ew, that sucks. I'd never play a tank then. When's your B-Day? My B-Day was yesterday. So it's still technically my birthday today. I like how you make antithesis videos about topics he covers. I like him, but he's a pull of negativity. It's nice to hear opposing opinions from someone of similar influence. Yeah, the thing is, like, negative videos, Like, I'm not saying Mad Season show, you know, before I talk about this. Mad Season, I don't think he makes videos negative on purpose to get more views. However, negative videos, in my experience, perform 3 times better on average. Like, I have data from my Yu-Gi-Oh! And World of Warcraft channel. If you make a video about a negative topic in the game, it is going to perform better by a factor of 3. Like, they just perform so much better that you can, like, skyrocket in popularity if you only focus on negative things, on the negative aspects of the game. And there are some channels that just went full throttle on that. Once they figured out, hey, I can grow better if I'm just negative all the time. They grew a lot more by focusing on everything that was negative. So, like, I get it, but that also should explain why there isn't too much, you know, positive videos out there. The YouTube algorithm incentivizes negative videos about the game. And there's lots of positive videos out there about the game. You know, or neutral ones. They don't need to be positive. The thing is, they just don't really get picked up by the algorithm. Like, a majority of my videos, like 99% of them, are either positive or neutral towards the game. I can make positive videos, and I'll be fine. I could grow a lot more if I stopped doing that, though. I won't, because I don't need to. Like, thankfully, my content's good enough where I don't need to do that in order to be successful. I can kind of just do whatever I want. So I only do it when I have a good idea. Hero isn't 32, but that is a very good way to grow. And sometimes, hey, what if you're just, you know, just not very good at YouTube? Just make a whole bunch of negative stuff and you'll grow really fast, and then you can stop and cut it out. Or you can just go full ham and just make negative stuff about everything else as well. Why limit yourself to WoW when you can talk shit about everything in the world? And then there you have some other YouTubers who started off as negative WoW YouTubers and then just moved on to negative everything else in the world, negative YouTubers. Like, it was only meant to take 2 weeks. Like, it was only meant to take 2 weeks this month for you, but last month for me, it said it took all of April, maybe only 1 week in May if it goes to plan. Yeah, I spent all day on my birthday working on the fishing video. I spent all day on that. You guys better watch it twice. That's what I spent my birthday doing, making that fishing video. Negative Nancy's are horrible. Negative Nancy's are rewarded by the algorithm. And also by the community. Like, you know, if someone says, like, you know, I have an honest opinion about the game, it's mostly negative. People associate honesty with negativity and dishonesty with positivity. Like, if someone's too positive, you just feel there's something off about them. That's why whenever I meet someone new, you know, instead of like kissing their ass or being overly nice, I like to exasperate a negative trait about myself. Because it makes you feel more real. And it gets them, you know, put their guard down, trust you more. It's like a really great thing to do in a first meeting with someone. Because I don't know if you've ever met someone, like someone, I'm sure everyone has known someone who's just too nice or too positive, and you just feel like they're fake. You know, like, you're so fake. You're not a real person. No one is this nice. And that's because people associate realness with flaws and negativity. So if you manufacture flaws and negativity, people will think you're more real, which is very ironic, but that's human psychology. I think it translates to passion. Yeah, passion too. It's so stupid. Like, people who are pessimistic call themselves realist. I'm not pessimistic. I'm just a realist. It's like, yeah, you can be realistic about something and not, you know, think everything is terrible all the time. You know, hey, did you know? Fun fact about life. It doesn't care how seriously you take it. It's going to screw you over no matter what you do. So you might as well have a good time. He turned 13 so you can play the Horde now. Yeah. Read the book Contagion, Why Things Catch On. Ooh, what's this? Someone recommended a video. Like, I was streaming for my 200K special on my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, and someone recommended a book called, like, Why Talent Doesn't Matter. And I was like, bullshit. I'm going to check it out anyway, because that sounds interesting. And I read the book, and I was like, well, shit. I think I'm convinced. Talent is not as important as I thought it was. Like, my whole life is a lie. It was very inspiring. Because, like, here's the thing. Let me look up Contagion real quick, because I had a really good recommendation from stream last time, and this might be good too. Contagious book. Contagious, Why Things Catch On. Okay, I'll look this up later. So anyways, this book about talent. Basically, I have athletic talent, and I don't have artistic talent. So in school, in sports, I was always just better than everyone else at sports. Naturally, because I was really good at it. And I was also, it took me a lot harder to learn certain things in drawing because I was really bad at it. But I eventually gave up on art because I wasn't getting to the places that I wanted to be. I wasn't improving enough. And I gave up on sports because I didn't really like sports. But I just thought, hey, I just don't have talent for it, and I know exactly what talent is like because I have talent in sports, and you know, it's just not something I'm good at, so I'm just going to stop. According to the book, though, there's been lots of studies about talent. And sure, there are certain attributes you have which can make you naturally better at other people at the start. Like, talent generally just gives you an advantage at the beginning. You know, at like low tiers of play. And usually when you have talent at that, when you're slightly better than your peers, you're going to want to continue on that subject more than them. You're going to want to get better coaching, look into it, put more work. And it's really the work that separates the people with talent who don't have it. Like, anyone who's world class has put in a lot of work into it. Yeah, bullshit. I thought so too. Bullshit. Here's some examples that, like, you know, really convinced me. So, the world record. The world record for the mile in sports. The world record 100 years ago from, like, Olympic athletes is 2 seconds slower than the world record for today's high school sports. And, what conclusion can you draw from a world record at top Olympic athlete levels 100 years ago to being slower than high school athletes today? And you would think, you know, maybe evolution? But no, evolution doesn't work that fast. Not at all. That's not how it works. People back then were just as talented as they are today. Like, in sports, records are being broken all the time. And it's not, you know, that people are just being born with better and better talents. People were just as talented as they were back in the day. The difference is, like, coaching and education and training. We're just, you know, people have figured out the meta. It's like the reason why people are able to clear classic raids faster than people were able to clear it in classic. It's because we figured out the meta, and they're very inefficient. It's not evolution. No, evolution doesn't work that fast. Evolution takes thousands of years to make minor changes. That is 100% not it at all. It's not drugs either. Because the high school level is better than the Olympic athletes from 100 years ago. It's just, you know, the meta has evolved. Migration? Nope, that's not it either. People were just as talented back then as they are today. It's also, there's some examples too. Like, Mozart is generally considered a genius level composer. And everyone knows he's just the most talented musician ever in the world. Actually, his dad was a very talented composer and started training him from when he was 3 years old. And so by the time he was a teenager, he'd already had 10 years of expert practice under his belt, which just gave him such a huge advantage that it made it seem like he was a natural genius. He might not even have talent at all. It's just he had such good coaching that it didn't matter. Tiger Woods is a more modern example. Tiger Woods doesn't even know if he has talent in golf or not. But he's undeniably like one of the best golfers of all time. And that's because his dad was a very passionate golfing coach who taught him from when he was able to first walk how to start swinging. Hear me out. Aliens. It's actually just like, you know, lots and lots of really hard work, but like really good focused hard work. Like you can just work as hard as you want and, you know, you have no idea what you're doing, but that's not the same as focused hard work with a really good teacher. And most of the hard work they put in is like really shitty hard work. Like most of the people who compete at the world level are constantly working on their flaws. And working on your flaws sucks. Most people who just train on their own only work on their positives. Like they just constantly work on what they're good at in order to be perfect at that. And the best way to do it is to work on what you're bad at, to constantly just improve all of your flaws. Genetics played a part? No, genetics don't work that way. That's the thing. Like, genetics do play a part in some things. Like, you're not going to make up for being not 7 feet tall in the NFL. Or, I mean, NBA. Like, you need to be taller than 6'5" in order to play professional basketball. Like, there are some physical attributes that you just can't do anything about. But what if you are 6'5"? How do you compete with the other people who are 6'5"? Well, there's a couple of natural talents you can have which give you a really good start. And will probably keep you motivated when the work starts to suck ass. And then what you just need is 10 years of really good practice. Generally, the number is around 10 years. Most people who are world class is because they spent over 10 years working really hard at that task. And most people will never do that because it's super fucking hard, and why would you do that? And it's not because, you know, people have just evolved since then. It's just we've figured out the meta. Genetics do work that way? In what way? Genetics do determine if you're going to be 6'5" or not. I agree. Talents do exist, but they're just not as important as the world, you know, collectively decided it is. I used to think talent played a much bigger part, you know, to the point where if I wasn't talented in something, I just didn't really bother. But that's not how it works, apparently. The only thing talent does is give you a head start. I can confirm it. No, the thing is, like, this also just, you know, opened up another revelation for me because I don't have talent when it comes to creating things. I don't have artistic talent. But I always thought it was funny that I succeeded despite that. I was like, you know, I'm not talented at this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I don't really give a shit because I like doing it. And so I spent a lot of time doing it, and I've been very successful in a creative field. And I always thought, I love how I've been able to succeed in something that I'm not talented at. And it turns out the reason I've been able to succeed in it is because I put a lot of hard work into it. You have talent? I can confirm it. No, I don't have talent. I just put a lot of like trained effort into what I do. And I could work a lot harder too. Like, the fact that I don't have talent in it means I'm kind of lazy in some respects about what I do. And now that I know that it's not really a big deal, I think I can just work on it more. Perfect pitch is massively hereditary. Yes, you need to have training, but without genetic component, you won't have it. Yeah, like, I understand there are some things that are genetic. It doesn't apply to literally everything. But it also, you know, applies to a lot of stuff that I didn't think it did before. You know, like the whole basketball example. You're not going to be an NBA player if you're shorter than 6'5". There are just some things where your genetics, or, you know, you're not going to play sports if you can't walk, you know, because you're physically disabled. Or, you know, if you don't have the mental capacity to do high-level math because of, like, you know, a mental problem, then that's just not going to happen. However, if you do have all the basic specs, then just like a shit ton of hard work is what separates people. At the world-class level. You don't really need to put too much effort in to be average at something. And if you're a talented person going against other average people, then that talent is going to be a huge dividing gap. But if you're a talented person going against other world-class people, then the hard work thing starts to come into play. You have a nice voice, and there's loads of that watch it on YouTube wasting their life. Dude, I worked hard at my voice. You should watch some of my earlier videos. I did not start off with this voice. This is something I've developed over years of practice. I remember just watching some of my past streams for footage, and I was like, why the hell did I talk like this in these videos? It's so bad. Okay, it looks like the lag has come back. I might end the stream in a bit, because the lag is really bad. Talent does give a head start, the rest is doing it. Yeah, basically, that's, the book says, like, the talent can just basically give you a head start in the beginning. And the thing it matters for the most is making you want to be motivated to keep doing it, to become an expert level. And if you have talent and you're going against average people, then obviously you're going to stand out. But the book was more about, you know, what separates world-class people. And it just gave a whole bunch of examples. It even gave me, like, example of this one dude who wanted to prove that women could play chess. So he found a girl, and they got married, and they had children. And they basically just trained all of their daughters to play chess from an early age. And they became some of the first, you know, they became some of the first women grandmasters. This is like back in the 70s or 80s or something. And it's just because he gave them proper practice from an early age. And that's all it really took. Brute Force 4 tactics helps motivate me because I lack motivation. Ooh, motivation's so hard. I almost have motivation to do nothing. You know, when it says hard work is a huge component of it, there's lots of people who work hard all the time and they don't succeed. You know, it's more of a, you still need to be lucky in respects where you have a life that allows you to work very hard in specific tasks. You know, if you're born like in a third world country and you really want to work hard to become a music producer, you're probably a shit out of luck because you just don't have the advantages which would enable you to pursue that passion. You also need to be in a fortunate position where you're able to actually put in the hard work that's required to do that. There are sports for physically disabled? Yeah, that's true. Feels bad putting 10 efforts working something and people brush it off as talent. Yeah. Like when he, like the author of the book also talked about how he didn't think his book would sell at like a music school because these people who had been putting the practices into work their whole lives. And it turns out it sold very well there because they liked that a book finally explained that what they did wasn't because they were talented. It was because they put like, 10 years of hard work into it. And people would always discount their hard work and just say they were talented. They were probably talented at first, but, I've heard a lot, according to the book and what Hazel even said, Hazel Nutty Games, that a lot of people who are into music, they're usually used to being way better than all their peers until they get to college. And then they see that everyone else is just as good as them, and then they lose motivation. Because they thought they were talented. And it's like, well, they probably were. It's just talent only carries you past, the average person. And then after that, what differentiates you is hard work. Why did I talk like that? Yeah, why did I talk with voice fry? You guys want to hear what my early voice sounded like? It's not like this. Here, this is what my early voice sounded like. It's kind of laggy, so I guess it won't really work. Who's your favorite VTuber? Probably, I don't know. I don't know. I like Rene. I also like haaaave, and I like Toa and Hachima, and I don't know which one of them I like the most. It would have to be a four-way tie from Rene, Hachima, Toa, or haaaave. Just because Toa's so good at singing. Oh my god. I can't get over it. I was watching her live stream last night where she was doing a sing-a-thon until she hit 600k subs. And her, like, singing in the karaoke was just as good as her cover songs. And her talking voice is so different from her singing voice. I was like, damn, she's so talented. How'd you work on your voice? Years of practice. Just put a lot of practice. Like, so much practice. I probably have thousands of hours of voice practice. It's called Epicgenics. Please say, and at number 4, we have, or something like that. And at number 4, we have Burger King foot lettuce. If women were as good as chess, they wouldn't give them their own tournaments. It's more of a... Like, it's an interesting thing about it. In that people aren't really sure why men are generally better at chess. But, you know, they do have their own divisions because, you're right, there are a huge number of them who are just not as good. And they probably wouldn't compete at the world level if they didn't have their own division too. They are allowed to compete in the men's division. It's just, we're not really sure why men are better. But, you know, with enough training, women can be grandmasters too. It's just, there hasn't never been a world championship one. Since when are we measuring success by money? Did someone say something about money? Was it in chat? I don't think I said anything about money. To say they can't be good, just got to finish your video. I remember a fun vanilla story of winning booty bay contest, a whole guide versus one druid. Wait, what? There's a video? Since when are we measuring success by money? How do you measure success? Not just that, anyone who takes 23andMe test will be able to tell you that you're in a genetic cluster which has muscle grouping that is shared with elite athletes. Your voice was the same. Your voice was the same from the earlier ones? No, it's not. You're crazy. Hey Ben, do you think DPS rankings affect class dominance in WoW? Warriors in Classic, Warlocks, Hunter and TBCs, Ret Pallies? Yeah, it's more of a community problem, though. Where people, like, are incentivized to play a meta spec because you'll get more invites. And people are more willing to invite a meta spec. Even if it only performs like 1% better on average. Usually the differences are way more than 1%, but that's just an example. I need to go sell my fish. You know what else you can get over? A silent voice? What? Why would I get over that? Ollie's a trip, Anya is chill too. My favorite is Rene from that bunch. Rene is just so talented. Rene is, she's trilingual. She knows 3 different languages. She can fluently speak Indonesian, Japanese, and English. She's also a good singer. She can draw really well. And she's also good at every video game she plays. I was like, how the hell? And she's entertaining. She has, like, natural charisma. She's entertaining to watch. That's the big one. How can you have all of these talents? How could you be such a hard worker? That's it's really inspiring when you see someone who's good at that many things. It's like, whoa, they must have put a lot of hard work into this. Talent works a lot like racial profession bonuses. It gives you an initial head start, but also pushes you past what is physically possible by other people because talent is entirely genetic. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, it does matter. Talent is a thing that exists. Because I have physical talent. Like, for example, the reason I was so, like, you know, dead set on talent mattering so much internally before I read the book was because I have athletic talent. And what athletic talent meant was whenever we did hitting drills in football, and I went against other people who I knew were just normal human beings without athletic talent, but definitely worked harder than me because I was a lazy shit in football. What I knew was if I was going against a normal person, I was going to win 100% of the time. Like, I could not possibly lose a hitting drill. I won all the time. The only ever time I ever lost was if I gave up on purpose. Like, I just knew I had talent because it was just, you know, I could not lose unless I lost on purpose when it came to, like, hitting drills. I remember one time, like, you know, one of the biggest examples I have, which I've told on stream a lot of times, and I've been made fun of for telling on streams, but I'm going to tell it anyway, is in football, it was my first day of practice in the varsity team as a junior, and there was a senior dude who was 6'5", and he was a starting tackle on the line, and we were doing hitting drills, and all I had to do was get past him and get to the coach, and all he had to do was stop me. It was a very simple hitting drill, and so we went at it. He's 6'5", I'm 5'6", so like almost a full foot shorter than him, and I basically just went up and threw him, and I got to the coach no problem. And he got really upset, and he asked me to go again, and I was like, sure. We went again, and I threw him real easily. And then he started making a big deal about it, and then we kept going, and every time I would just throw him. Like, it was nothing. He wasn't very good. But he was a starter, and he was really big and strong. But I was just so much better that I could not possibly lose to him unless I lost on purpose. And eventually, I just lost him on purpose because I didn't want to keep going against him over and over because he was making a scene about it. And that's why I was like, yeah, you know, obviously talent exists because I had it, and I was just so much better than everyone else. But that was at the high school level. Like, that's entry level stuff. And I was like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Who cares about high school level stuff? FPS. Measure your success by how fulfilled you are in life, plus your impact on the world. I don't know. Back before I started doing YouTube, I was pretty happy dude just working half-time, part-time at my minimum wage job. I didn't really need more than that. I'm very easily fulfilled. Nowadays, I have a lot more ambition than past me, but all that ambition is tied towards YouTube. YouTube's a really fun job. Tape measure. We're talking about success and money mostly. Yes, money, money, money. If we're talking about success in terms of money, then I definitely have that as well. My new goal for success. Can you even call yourself a YouTuber if you don't have 1 million subscribers? I mean, come on. That's what I need to get to next. I speak 5 languages and can draw? Yeah, that's really good. That's not normal. Normal people can't speak 5 languages. That's a lot of hard work. Also, being able to draw well is not normal either. You obviously put in time and effort. You know why? Because I have tons of years of drawing practice, and I suck at it. Although, that was when I was young. I'm going to get back into drawing. The book inspired me to get back into drawing. I, hirumaredx the beast. No need to literalize the hypothesis. You need more male geniuses and more average women. Also see more idiot men, so might tend up the higher end competitive. It's not always there. There'll always be outliers. Name for the theory, something, hypothesis, I just forget what it is. I mean, I'm not a huge expert on the genetics for talent, but a lot of the mental stuff, you know, the smarts, isn't genetic outside of, like, you know, severe mental disabilities, which are genetic. Because you can just kind of train to get smarter. Like, memory, for example, is something you can train to be better. They have memory competitions. And a lot of the people who win were just people who have normal level memories at the start of it. There was nothing special about their academia. But thanks to learning the meta on how to memorize stuff better, they're world class at it. Yeah, I don't know about that. Average of what? What culture? What are you guys talking about? I feel like you guys are having a discussion that I'm not part of. You need tips on LB cooldowns for hunters? What's an LB cooldown? So to say that's a plus 10 jewel crafter who has nothing, won't be near as good as a 375 jewel crafter who has bothered to put in the work. Yes, exactly. I don't know what you guys are talking about, though. I feel really sad. Well, then don't feel sad. There you go. Oh, wait, what level's my fishing? How do I check my fishing level? Let me scroll up. Oh, I'm at 150. I'm maxed out. How do I learn my biggest... How do I level up my fishing, Celty? Do I need to go over to Hermit Nesting Wary? I have lots of ambition, he said, as he fishes in a video game. Dude, did you see I uploaded videos for a full month? You can have you can have ambition and take some relaxed time off. In fact, I would heavily argue that taking scheduled breaks is super important to productivity. Like, just, there's so many benefits to taking breaks. And breaks, I mean, like, literally just not doing anything related to work. This is somewhat related to work, though. No, hence something 5 languages is basic bitch here. Means nothing? Bullshit. As someone who failed college because he sucked at Japanese, that's hard. You're crazy. You just don't understand how impressive you are. Or maybe you're just being very humble. How do you measure that? And what intelligence are you referred to? And what perspectives? Yes, Celty, what intelligence are you referred to? Bullshit IQ, which means nothing. You got a link for all those VTubers you mentioned? Rene, Ame, Toa, and Hachima. I will, warn you that Hachima and Toa are in Japanese, so you won't understand them. Hachima is just like a creative ball of energy. And Toa is just a really good singer. Ame and Rene are in English, at least. They're good. Just look up Pavlovia Rene from Hololive ID. Or Amelia Watson from Hololive Ian. Good stuff. Highly recommend. He looks like a spider. You guys want to see what my face looks like? I'll show you what my face looks like.
Hello there. I am the Spider Logs. This is my face. I'm actually a 300-pound spider. Teehee. You would have never have guessed that I'm actually a 300-pound ball of energy with 8 eyeballs and 8 legs, and sacs which produce silk-like substance, which allows me to trap prey and eat them.
Okay, enough of the VTuber avatar I have. What did I come into? Just ignore that. I was a wrestler, state champion 2011. My freshman year, the first year I even competed, then I quit. I know what it's like to have talent without motivation. Dude, that was me. I was the unmotivated athlete who still did very well because of talent. But it's real easy to compete against normal people when you're at such a low level of skill. It just highlights different metrics of intelligence. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Glarid and Celti, we should, you guys should shelve that discussion. I understand what you guys are talking about. I also understand how it can easily lead into a controversial angle. So just stop the discussion there. Breaks do help productivity massively. Yeah, they're so important. Breaks are, it's an interesting thing in sports psychology too. They'll force athletes to take like a day break where they're not allowed to do anything strenuous because it makes the body want to work out more. I feel like as I'm hearing things, stream is multiple minutes delayed now. Yeah, the stream has a pretty long delay on it because of how much lag there is. It's what allows me to do the stream. What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone who wants to get into content creating? Try really hard to just make something. Just, you know, the Shia LaBeouf thing. Just do it. It's the most important thing because so many people are afraid to get started. So they never try. And if you never try, then there's no point in researching, you know, all the other tips and tricks on how to get better. You know, start making stuff. Know that what you make at first is gonna suck. And just keep doing it anyway. That's usually the biggest hurdle that gets a whole bunch of people to stop. Turns out making YouTube videos is not that hard. Making them interesting isn't very difficult either. Getting attention is very difficult though. But like actually making entertaining videos isn't very difficult. It just takes some time and effort and very much lots of practice. And also the mental fortitude to keep making videos when people tell you your videos are shit. That's a hard one. That's one you just kind of have to get used to. Or have a natural inclination to just disregard other people's opinions. You're a spider? Do you work for a newbies? Maybe. Amelia Watson. Yes, Amelia Watson. I'm traveling in classic WoW. Yeah, it takes forever to get anywhere in this game. I thought I was going to see your face. Oh, you guys saw my spider? like a minute ago. Yeah, the stream delay is pretty massive. Do you work for a new Barack? Can I start leveling a character and then move to TBC server? If it lets you say 35? I don't know if it lets you move a non-max level character. I'd assume so. I never thought about moving a non-max level character. 2 minutes behind on the stream delay? Whoa. I have to watch the video on talent. Is it on this channel? It's a book. The book is called Talent is Overrated. It's not a long book. It was only like a 6-hour long audio. And the book basically, you know, presents its information, presents a ton of evidence, you know, based on science. Science and facts. And also, you know, I don't 100% agree with the conclusion, but he gives enough evidence where I kind of agree with the idea of it. Like, he's a lot more extreme where, like, you know, talent doesn't matter at all. And I'm like, I don't know about that. You know, take two people who work just as hard as each other and have just as good coaches. What's going to separate them is which one has more talent. You know, everybody knows who's the fastest person in the world, but do you know who's the 10th fastest person in the world? 10th fastest person probably puts in just as much time and effort as the number one, but no one knows who he is. Even though he's faster than 99.99% of the world, no one cares or knows. And there's not much more he can do because he's already doing everything he possibly can. You know, that's where talent comes in. Still super fast, still top level, like world-class athlete, but not good enough. What's the class is fast to level in vanilla? Mage. I think it's just like mage 100% all the way. But only if you're like min-maxing it. If you're a casual player, then probably hunter. The only way mage is fast is if you min-max leveling. Fuck, I don't know where Nat Pagel's at. Nat Pagel Classic. Classic Nat Pagel Tom Command. There he is. I looks like I went past him. So YouTube videos brought use from Yogg Saron. What? For me, editing, coming up with ideas, what jokes to put in them is the hard part. I have to admit, I've been spoiled with luck, though. Yeah, it's, like, there are some people, I know some content creators, personally, who have been doing YouTube just as long as I have, and also put in a lot of hard work, but don't have any success. And I always think, what is the difference between me and them? And the answer is I actually change what I do for metrics. Like, I do the things the way I do it because I know people will watch them if I do them that way. I don't have to 100%, you know, play towards metrics, but there's some people where they want to succeed doing what they're doing without having to play towards YouTube's algorithms. And that's really the only difference between me and them. Is I'm willing to compromise what I do for the YouTube algorithm. And they're completely unwilling to. Or even learn what the YouTube algorithm wants. Which requires a lot of experimentation. And sometimes people do care. And they have the hard work. And they experiment. And they just never, none of their experiments just ever pay off. And that's unfortunate. There's also luck that's involved. What the hell? I'm at 150. Why won't you train me fishing? Let me watch my video on fishing. I forgot how this works. If I go to my fishing video and I go to the classic section. Or the decreasing some gems or been imparting low level. There were some your poll gave you a +5. Like the other secondary school professions, you had to go out into the world in order to get a book to learn expert and do a quest to learn artisan. The quests were given by Nat Pagel and Duswalla Marsh, who was named after Pat Nagel, one of the senior quest designers for WoW, who was first hired on Blizzard all the way back in 1997 along with Jeff Kaplan. The quest sends you out into the world to fish up 4 special fish that you can...
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm probably done streaming for the day anyway. Pretty sure Shadow's the meta for leveling in Classic, but I don't know for sure. Shadow? I can't imagine Shadow can level faster than a mage who can just AoE down everything. Thinking anyone can do anything's the dumbest effing stuff that's born from some naive, disingenuous... I mean, it's based on hard science. You know, read the book before you denounce it that hardly. I had the same exact immediate thought to it as well. So I totally get it. I know you won't read the book, though. Most people don't read books. You know, if there was a convenient article that went over it, I don't think that's enough information to really go over the examples required in a book. It's just like, there is so much information. There is so much, like, science that went into it. And so many real-world examples that it's like, yeah, that makes sense, you know. I don't agree 100%, but like, you know, 90% is still good enough for me to change my mind on that. Here, it's me from the past to tell you, where is this fishing book? Right? Shameless self-promotion? Heck yeah, if only, let's see, I didn't see his channel. I want to get an Audible sponsorship. If I get an Audible sponsorship, I can tell you guys to read that book. And be like, read this book. Change your view on the world. Don't let your dreams be memes. Even you can be a professional at anything as long as you have the privilege to be able to work at it full-time for 10 years with a really good coach that you have money to afford. I wonder if privilege counts as a talent. Not in the genetic sense, but that's definitely an advantage you need to have in order to be really good at something. Not necessary, but it's definitely an advantage. Would you be willing to get stung by 100 bees for 100 bucks? No, I don't do shit for anyone for money. I only do things I agree with. There are some YouTubers, I guess I should say streamers, who will basically perform any task if you donate them some money. And I find their antics entertaining, but I'm not one of them. Oily blackmouth. Should I just sell this? Yeah, I'll send it off to my banker alt. To Kumagawa. If privilege was a talent we would all respect, heck yeah. You need a little bit of privilege in order to be able to even attempt a career like being a YouTuber. Sometimes that privilege is just being born in a first world country. That's all it takes. A lot of streamers and YouTubers are hookers for 10 bucks. Yeah, exactly. You say, if you give me $100 and then tell me to get stung by bees, I'll be like, thanks for the $100, but, you know, fuck you. Ooh, an owl. Why is his name useless? Oh, because I need to release him. I'm saying Pallies become B or A tiers in leveling classic from like D tiers if they wouldn't hit 40. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't say they're as good as a hunter though. Like when it comes to casual leveling, I can't imagine something's better than a hunter. Because they make everything so easy. Are you gonna stop streaming soon? Yep. I was gonna stop in a second. If you're done, then the music voice before you leave? Oh, right. Okay. Hello there, everyone. This is the end of my stream, my birthday stream. It's my birthday, everyone. It was my birthday. I'm 19 years young, 19 years old now. Hope you guys had fun listening to me talk about a book I read that I don't 100% agree with, but I agree 90% with, which brings up some interesting theories. Today's video was brought to you by Audible. Sign up once they finally accept my sponsorship. I've asked them to sponsor me and they said yes, but then they gave me a Crunchyroll ad instead. Which is fine, I use Crunchyroll too, but I really wanted an Audible ad. 19, I'm 19, I'm at least 19 years young. You know what, that inspired me to get back into YouTube. It's the only thing I'd consider myself most talented at. Dude, I'm not talented in YouTube, and yet I have 2 very successful channels. Well, I wouldn't say very successful. They're successful, sure. Successful on the metric that they, you know, if I needed to support myself, I could do so with the revenue alone from either of those 2 channels. They also allow me to hire 5 people to work for me, which is pretty darn successful if you ask me, but it's not the most successful. I don't have 1 million subs yet, so I'm obviously not successful yet. I'm successful enough to hire 5 people, but not successful enough to have 1 million subscribers. Once I hit 1 million subs, then I will be successful. Until then, I'm just a nobody. The nobody with a musical voice. This is the voice I used in my ad, and my Surfshark ad for my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Nothing to say, just like your content? Why, thank you. Brawlio Ochia. You know, I wouldn't be able to do this if you guys didn't like my videos. Here, I'll go back to the normal voice. Oh, it's not easy at all, but for the top end it's good. I haven't even done it myself. It's just what the people better at the game than me say. Oh, okay. Take care, everyone. I will complete my goal of reaching 60 by questing as a holy priest. Wow, dude, on hard mode, huh? Dual Link stream? I tried to do a Dual Link stream, but the internet just wasn't having it. So I stopped. At least 19. Classic boomer move there. Just take 19 and add 10 to it. And then there's my age. Go to the T-Pain voice. T-Pain? Okay. With the sound effects too. Hello there, this is me, T-Pain, famous musician. I am here to tell you to consume product. That is all. Okay. I'm gonna go now. I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna go, like, and sleep for the